உருளைக்கிழங்கு இல்லாமல் உலகம் கிடையாது. அதை உணவில் சேர்த்து கொள்ளாமல் வாழ்வில் சுவையது. இட்லி தோசை ரொட்டிக்கும் இதுபோல் துணையேது. ஒரு சட்டினியும் அதில் சேர்ந்து விட்டால் சொர்க்கம் வேறேது. சாஸ்தா சண்டே சமையல், அது பொட்டேட்டோ மசாலா குவியல். சாஸ்தா சண்டே சமையல், அது பொட்டேட்டோ மசாலா குவியல். ஞாயிறு வந்தால் விருந்தினர் வருமாறு அலுப்பும் கூடவே வருமே. ஞாயிறு வந்தால் விருந்தினர் வருவார் அலுப்பும் கூடவே வருமே. அதற்கு தானே சாஸ்தா நமக்கு ஆலு மசாலா தருமே. அதற்கு தானே சாஸ்தா நமக்கு ஆலு மசாலா தருமே. சாஸ்தா சண்டே சமையல், அது பொட்டேட்டோ மசாலா குவியல். சாஸ்தா சண்டே சமையல், அது பொட்டேட்டோ மசாலா குவியல்.
Welcome to Shastha Sunday Samayal, Episode 7, Perfect Pairing, Popular Potato Masala and Classic Chutney. I'm Alagu Al and I'll be your host for today. It's been quite a few weeks since we last met, which was on a 6-week mini-series on millets. We've heard from many of you how it has transformed your lives and how you have incorporated it into your daily life. And now we come to you with something that is also good and delicious all at the same time. This is ready to eat potato masala and Turdal Chutney. Interesting combination indeed. Our show today is 60 minutes and we will talk to a local celebrity, followed by live cooking demos by chefs from kutti chuttis to parties. Simple home-style cooking to some very creative magical ones. In parallel, as always, we will also have a cooking contest to line up with today's theme. Sounds fun, doesn't it? Growing up in Chennai, the absolutely fun days of school, sitting under a beautiful banyan tree, sharing stories, laughter, and lunch with friends was indeed magical. Each day, my mother would pack a different lunch, and it would be a huge surprise. The days when I opened the tiffin box and the top box had spicy, tiny diced potato fries was the best. Other days that had idli and chutney came pretty close. Now, fast forwarding to the present, Shastha Foods has introduced a ready-to-eat mix of potatoes and Turdal Chutney as part of their ready mix line that is just fantastic and so very easy to make that you're going to see today. This is the quintessential potato masala and Turdal Chutney. These make me so nostalgic and take me back to the potato and chutney-filled lunches under those trees. With that, let's meet our celebrity guest for today. It's none other than our very own Shastha Mani, as he's fondly called. Mani Krishnan, CEO and founder of Shastha Foods, has made a huge leap, revolutionizing another space, which is of the ready-to-eat foods that are quite different from what the ones you have and you can get today. The mantra of what is socially good and responsible is also good business is a philosophy he lives by every day. Mani, welcome to Shastha Sunday Samayal.
Thank you, Alagu. Thank you very much.
How are you, Mani, today?
I am excellent. Thank you. It's a wonderful day. Weather is good and it's excited to be back.
Great to chat with you again today. As always, the pleasure is ours. Mani would love to hear what brought this idea about to make these ready-to-eat potato masalas.
See, having done so many dosas and idlis and variations, etc. Mentally, we wanted to make sure all the condiments that is necessary to go along with the dosa had to be in place. So initially, we started with idli pudi, then we started with ennai, then we started with sambar, chutneys, etc. Then, the immediate thing is masala dosa came into my mind. And I said, how do we make sure potato masala is available, in an easy, consistent, gluten-free quality with easy to make concept. And we had a couple of State Department sponsored women who had come from India and talked with them, and one of them agreed to develop this, and she has done a wonderful job. And that is how the concept started. And of course, I always remember one of the things, as far as potato is concerned, my brother would always used to say, it's God's gift to mankind.
Indeed, it is. So I suppose it's a segue to the next one. So obviously there are so many vegetables, and it makes sense what you're saying about potatoes. Did you think of other vegetable choices, or you pretty much honed in on potatoes? And why particularly these three flavors?
I'll answer the first question.
Yeah.
The potato variations today, originally, of course, we started with the masala dosa. Then we said, which are the famous potatoes that is very prominent in India? Of course, the South Indian potato masala goes without saying. Then the Maharashtrians have a variation, and the North Indians have a variation. So we said, let's zone in and figure out these three masalas. And once we got into that place, the other fillings, there is a lot of discussions that is going on. And, we'll start with mixed vegetables to begin with. And, after the show is over, from all the participants and all these wonderful people, they can give me a feedback in terms of the other kind of fillings that they might be interested. And if it is possible, we'll make sure we'll attempt it and start launching it next year.
That sounds fantastic, Mani. And amazingly, I know the concept started as a filling, but believe it or not, as you're going to see in the show, and as you're going to see in all of the cooking contest dishes, they have taken it to a completely different level. And so perhaps, it's something that maybe one couldn't have even imagined as it started, which is what we love to see. Also, in line with the potato concept, Mani, what was the concept behind the Turdal Chutney?
See, Turdal, as we call it, is Parpu Togayal. And, you can put it into the chutney category or a Togayal category, because if you buy that, you can use it with the dosa or the idli, and also, use it with the rice and other things. And, my colleague, Vaidyanathan, who's behind the recipe for that, that's how we got started. And suddenly we also found out there is no product in that space. In fact, I'm glad to share with you today, we have Pirkangai Togayal. Initial samples have come in. This is called the Rich God Togayal. Then we have the bell pepper Togayal, which is Sevapu Kodamahai Togayal, and green pepper Togayal, which is Kodamahai Togayal. These products we have got it in small quantities. These are large shipments that will be coming in by the middle of November. So from a Togayal point of view, we'll have 4 products, these 3 plus the Parpu Togayal, which will be, a good assortment and a condiment for all the people who love this food. And the most important thing is, none of them have any preservatives, no additives, and it's very easy to make. How easy it is to make, I can tell you, even I can make it. That's a testimony as to how easy it is.
Yeah, I believe that, Mani. Now, going back to the potatoes, they are absolutely flaky and cooks in a jiffy. And I've never seen anything like this in the Indian product line, Mani. Obviously, it's something completely new.
Absolutely. See, as we got the product, and of course, there are some slight corrections and modifications that can be done. But suddenly I realized the application for the instant potato masala is enormous. Not only we can use it for the dosa or the idli, we can use it with puri, we can use it with chapati, we can use it with sandwich, we can use it with cutlet, we can use it in a samosa, we can use it in pani puri filling. So the application suddenly exploded. And whether it is a North Indian or a South Indian, they can take it when they travel. And then there is a big craving for the food. It immediately satisfies and satiates their desire to have our own food. For students, it's a big boon, and one of the concepts that we are working on is a cost of a dosa plus condiments, which is basically dosa, sambar, chutney, potato masala, all these things, molapudi and ennai, all these things put together. Somebody buys a package, it'll just cost them less than $1 to make a dosa at home. Compare that to about $7 or $8 today when you go to a restaurant, and the fact that you have to drive and go to that place and outside dine in, safety, and if you take all those considerations, this is a good value proposition at this time for anybody and everybody, etc. So one of the things I want to request all of you is tell your North Indian friends, tell your mainstream friends what a wonderful food it is. I saw a recent note about somebody disparaging an idli. My God, what do they know about idli? And this is the opportunity for us to make a difference in terms of ensuring that this product goes mainstream.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mani. I've sampled the product, and what I also like very much, and I'm sure many feel the same way, is the sachet itself. It comes out very clean, from the inside. There's really it just spills out, and it goes to the great packaging of the product as well. It makes a huge difference, as you buy these ready mixes. That happens. So kudos to you on that, Mani.
Thank you.
And going a little bit away from the food line, I know you're known for a lot of things, and I've asked you this before. You're certainly known very much in the Bay Area and around everywhere of being a great philanthropist. I would like to certainly hear your advice to others on how to get started young. People make a lot of money in the Bay Area and would love to incorporate and make sure that giving is part of everyone's life. So some tips on that would be great, and some insights.
So one of the things is, having seen so many ups and downs in terms of my last 42 years career, where I've gone broke, I've seen money, I've gone broke, I've seen money. So my first impression is I don't give too much importance to my bank balance. That is number one. Number two, wealth is your children or your wealth. That is number two in my prioritization. Number one as far as wealth is concerned. Then the next thing is, of course, health. You take a look at it. Today, for all of us, if you take a look in the last 1 year, because of Corona, suddenly we found out all the money in the bank is, even though we have the money, we still don't have the money because we don't have avenues to spend, etc. There are a lot of people who are not as lucky as we are, or who have not had the opportunities. Our opportunity to make sure that we make a difference in society is to see what you can do. One, of course, contributing monetarily to various organizations who do uplifting. Secondly, give away as many things that is possible within your ability, etc. Number three, spend your time. Even in a day, if you are able to spend some amount of time to do something good or help someone, that will make a big difference for all of us. All of us today, after almost 9 months in the pandemic, we are still here. We are healthy. We have food on the table. We have jobs, and our health is okay. And those are the things one has to appreciate what we have. And I mean, so from that philosophical point of view, and I feel, conserving and tightening your bank balance is not the way to reach the next level. That is principally that I do. I don't worry about the money. I mean, not that I have a lot of money, but I'm just saying. And one other thing which I wanted to tell before we close, there are two other instant sambar, Madras sambar, which is also come in, and we also have the Karnataka sambar. All of them are available in sachet, and we have some small quantities and big quantities should be coming in. And so, enjoy the kind of condiments that is available. I think the first time in the US or anywhere in India or even in the world, the entire plethora of condiments that is needed to have a wholesome dosa meal or an adai meal. I can tell you first time it's available in the Bay Area only. And through our online portals, we can ship across the country without any issue. And before I close, please don't forget to vote.
Yeah,
take your vote and go to the voting booth and make sure whoever your choice is, but exercise your right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mani. And before we close, I had actually one more question. I've heard your wife makes the best potatoes in town. So setting that aside for a moment, how do you like this potato masala, made for? What is the best kind of preparation that you've liked so far?
I like the South Indian one, and the North Indian and the Maharashtrian still has scope to get better. That is my honest opinion. The South Indian masala is definitely the best. And of course, it's made in such a way that even people who want to make modifications can make modifications, etc. And this is the first alteration. And as we move along, by the time the next batch comes in, we would have taken input from all of you and make suitable corrections so that it's a very convenient thing and a tasty thing and a consistent thing for all of us.
Yeah, no, thanks, Mani. Obviously, having grown up in the South Indian families, that taste we certainly gravitate towards. And we will see, in the demos as well as from the cooking contest, kind of the variations and things that people have done. So with that, let's move to our very much awaited segment of, thank you very much, Mani, for your insights and everything. As we move into kind of the much awaited segment of live cooking demos, where our chefs are eagerly waiting. They worked very, very hard. They have experimented many items, Mani, to come up with some optimal things that they have enjoyed and they have liked, and those are the ones they're going to present today. And our first chefs today are two very young and adorable sisters, Vaishali and Venba. Charming little girls with infectious smiles and non-stop chatters that will absolutely melt your heart. They do mine. Venba, a 3-year-old tiny chef, is a mischievous but adorable girl who can steal your heart in a jiffy. She's a great observer, learning a lot from her sister. This talkative little one, apparently, is the new boss of the house. Vaisha, a 5-year-old, is the big chef and is very creative and focused in what she does. Be it her painting or making unique rangoli patterns, which I was privy to see, and with just a few blocks every day, it changes. It's incredible. She enjoys dancing and singing, exploring different forms of art. She's a true artist. She's very affectionate, very caring big sister, and she's a great helper to her mom in the kitchen, which is what inspired her to be on the show today. And I've seen a lot of her videos before, and she's a master chef, is how I would put it. Without much further ado, over to Vaishu and Venba's kitchen.
Hello everyone, welcome to Shastha Sunday Summit. I am Vaishali. Today we're going to make two dishes out of potato. They're quick and they're yummy. You want to know how they're quick? Because I have this potato masala packet from Shastha Foods. So let's start. Let's start by making the base for these two dishes. So I'm going to put this potato masala. Now I'm going to add 1 ml of water, 200 ml of water. Now we're going to mix it up. And we're going to wait the potato to bloom for 3 minutes. While waiting, we're going to start our first dish, potato cream cones. So we're going to cut this puff pastry sheet into strips.
I like those perfect lines you're making, Vaishu.
Thank you. Now there's one foil paper shaped like a cone. So we're going to get one strip and wrap it around. This foil paper shaped like a cone. Looks like we need some more. Let's get another strip and stick it to the first strip.
Is
And
this like Play-Doh for you, Vaishu?
Yes, and keep swirling it around. Now our cone is ready. Leave some space on the top so my mom can put it after baking. My mom is going to bake this for 400 degrees and 15 minutes.
You have a good
Now
helper, Vaishu.
What?
I said you have a good helper with your mom.
Now our bloomed potatoes ready. While waiting for the cone to get ready, we're going to start making the filling for the potato cream cone. So we're going to add 1 cup of bloomed potato. And then we're going to add half cup of cream cheese. Now we're going to add 3 tablespoons of milk. Now we're going to mix it up nicely. To form a paste. Now we're going to put this into a piping bag like this. Now we're going to swirl it around in circles in our baked cone.
Nice, Vaishu.
Now,
That's the filled cone.
the cone looks, the potato cream cone looks like almost ready. Let's add some toppings. What toppings should we add? Colored cheese. Let's get some and sprinkle it on the top of our potato cream cone. Ta-da-da-da. Ta-da! Our potato cream cone is ready.
Can I get this? I'm taking it right from you. Yummy. That looks delicious, Vaishu.
Thank you. Now, let's start our second dish, potato lollipops. So, we have our extra bloomed potato. So, we're going to add 1 cup of bloomed potato. And then, we're going to add half cup of poha powder. And then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of flour. Now we're going to mix it up. And then we're going to put a salt. Now we're going to mix it up. And make it into a dough. Like this. And soft. So I'm going to pinch some and roll it into cute round balls.
They're cute like you, Vaishu.
Thank you. Now there's toothpicks that are soaked in water. So I'm going to get one and poke it into the round ball. Now we're going to dip this into flour paste. Now we're going to dip this into breadcrumbs. And now we dipped our breadcrumbs. So now my mom is going to fry this. Now our lollipop is fried. Let's add some fun into it. What fun should we add? Yeah! Making cheesy ears. So we're going to get some ketchup and put it on top. Now we're going to stick this cheese on top. Ta-da! Our Mickey Mouse lollipop is ready.
I love it, Vaishu. And every child, every adult is going to love this.
Now, let's do our presentation. Coochie coochie! Potato cream cones and potato lollipops. Let's welcome our special and cutest guest to try our dishes, yummy dishes. Come on, guest. Hi.
Hi, and who's our special guest today?
It's Venva.
Hi,
Okay.
Venba.
Here we go, guys. She doesn't like that one. Crunchy.
How's it? Say that again, sweetie. What did you say, sweetie Venba?
Give me show you stay.
Thank you, Akka. Try this, friends. Give it to your whole family. Bye-bye. See you later.
Oh, that was incredible, Vaishu and Venba. It's so hard for me to tear myself away from your kitchen, but we have to go to another chef who's waiting excitedly in the wings. Our next chef is Shamu. She's a sophomore in college majoring in business economics. She loves to paint, dance, experiment with new recipes, and is very involved in social justice. She's a sassy young woman with a clear point of view on just about everything. I have seen her grow up from a baby to the charming young woman she has become. And so let's go over to Chamu's kitchen.
Hi everyone, I'm Chamu, and today we're going to be making potato cups and potato wraps. So let's get started. So we're going to be using the Shastha potato masala. They come in 3 different flavors or styles: South Indian style, North Indian style, and Maharashtrian style. The South Indian style is definitely the spiciest, so you can pick and choose depending on what you like. We're also going to be using a Turdal Chutney later on. Okay, so let's get started with the main ingredient, the potatoes, obviously. So first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 420 degrees. All right. Okay, so what you want to do is take a cup of onions, a chopped onion, and a handful of cilantro, and you just want to saute that over high heat for just a couple minutes. All right, so as you guys will soon see, these potatoes are super, extremely quick and very, very, literally so easy to make. Plus, the potatoes happen to be a very, very versatile ingredient that you can use in a multitude. Potatoes happen to be a very versatile ingredient that you can use in a multitude of recipes, depending on whatever you like. So now we're going to add in the potatoes. We're using the Maharashtrian style. And then we're going to add in 1 cup of water. Okay, and you just want to, all right, and you want to make sure to combine that very well. Just going to do that for a quick, 30 seconds at most. All right, and we're all good. Now all you need to do is turn off the heat, cover it, and let it sit for a couple minutes. All right, let's move on to the other ingredients. So when I like to create a meal or a recipe, I like to create a complete meal. So I want these potato cups and wraps to be, quote unquote, a complete meal. The potatoes provide carbs and starch. And then over here we have the other ingredients. We have spinach and bell peppers for some vegetables. We have shrimp and tofu for some protein. So you can use whatever vegetables you'd like. Use mushrooms, beans, whatever, absolutely whatever you like. And so now the shrimp and the tofu. So the shrimp and the tofu are both braised in a.
I could see.
Were we muted? No. Okay. Okay. So back to so the vegetables and the protein. Hopefully, you guys heard all of that. So the tofu and the shrimp are both braised in a spicy, sweet soy sauce, spicy sweet sauce. So I'm going to show you guys how to make that really quickly. Let's go over here on me. Okay, so the sauce is really, really easy to make. You just need 5 ingredients. All right, so the first ingredient is you need a tablespoon of soy sauce. You need just a pinch of chili powder or black pepper. A teaspoon of sugar sweetener. We're using a sugar replacement here, but you can use regular sugar. You can use stevia. And this is the most important ingredient. You're gonna need a tablespoon of Korean hot pepper paste. It's called gochujang, and it looks like this. You can get it at any Asian market or any Korean market. I'm just gonna add that in. And as I mentioned earlier, you can put a tablespoon of soy sauce. I use something called coconut aminos, which is basically a low sodium version of soy sauce. And then you're just gonna add in 1/2 cup of water. And all you need to do is whisk. All you do is whisk that together, and then you are all good. Okay, so let's move on to the potato cups. We're going to be making our potato cups in this muffin tray. So we've already oiled the muffin tray, so make sure to do that so you can take the potato cups out.
And so, Chamu, you cook the tofu and the shrimp in the.
Yes, sorry. Let me explain how to make the tofu and the shrimp really quick. So what you want to do is you want to make, so whatever protein you're using, you want to shallow fry that on high heat just for a couple minutes on each side to make sure they're brown on the outside but soft on the inside. And then after that, you want to remove the protein from the oil. But in that oil, you want to add in 1/2 cup of onions and 1 clove of garlic and just saute and caramelize that. And after that's done, you want to add the sauce in and wait for that to just bubble up and reduce a little bit. And then you want to add back in your protein, your shrimp, tofu, whatever you'd like. And then just saute that for a little bit and wait for it to kind of cool down, wait for it to reduce. And then you're all good. And they're also very easy to make in bulk, and you can pair them with a lot of different things. They taste, personally, I didn't really expect them to taste as good as they did with the potato masala, but they taste great. Okay,
yeah, it's an interesting pairing for sure, Chamu. And
yeah.
do you mind zooming in on the proteins and the platter there of all the condiments and kind of show us? Yeah.
Yeah, this is just some chopped up spinach, just some chopped up mini bell peppers. This is the shrimp. We just cut into really small pieces. And this is the tofu. Well, just for clarification, we use extra firm tofu. That way it retains all of the sauce. All right.
Sure.
Let's move on to the potato cups. All you do is take a scoop of the potato, add it into the cup. You want to fill it just as much as you can. Make sure you get a thick enough border. All right. And then you can use whatever. We're going to use this to kind of indent the potato cup.
Do you want to move it slightly so we can see it completely? Maybe yeah, thank you.
All right. The potato cake. All right. Then you can just kind of scoop off the excess. You need to.
And I think when if it cooks a bit more, I know when we did it before, it was not so, it was more dry, right, Chamu?
Yeah, definitely.
So I think, you want to make sure that it's much more of a dry filling.
Yeah, you want to make sure that your filling is pretty dry, just to make sure nothing like it doesn't get too moist or fall apart in the oven. Okay, so let's add in our ingredients. We're gonna add in a little bit of spinach, a little bit of bell peppers. We're gonna do a little bit of let's do a little bit of shrimp. These are all tofu, so let's do a little bit of shrimp. And one thing you do want to do is add a little bit of egg whites just to make sure everything sticks together. It doesn't have any flavor or anything, so it's not going to affect that at all. Just a little bit of egg whites. All right, and there you are. Then you're just going to pop that in the oven for around 10 minutes. And you just want to make sure to check on that halfway through. All right, so let's move on to the wraps. We're going to be using a pita wrap. This is a oat, flax, and whole wheat wrap. Feel free to use whatever one you'd like. So the thing about these ingredients, you can literally put them in, and you put them in the potato cups. We're going to put them in the wrap. It's literally the same thing. Just going to add in some of this potato. And we're just going to go through the same process again with the veggies, a bit of bell pepper, then a little bit of tofu, and you're all good. And it's like a good, complete meal. And if you're looking for a more low-carb option, you can also do a lettuce wrap. These taste amazing. I think it's one of my favorite versions to use the potato. You're just going to add in the potato. I like to kind of spread the potato around just to give it more of a solid, like, base. You can add in the spinach, a bit of bell pepper, a little bit of shrimp this time, and you're all good. Perfect. All right, so let's move on to the finished products. These are some of the finished potato cups. These ones are tofu, some of them are shrimp. You can really, these potato cups are so easy to make personalized. You can add any types of vegetables you want. You want cheese, you can add that. Absolutely anything you want. It's also easy to make any of these things in bulk, so you can make them as a really quick, you can pop them in a toaster for a couple minutes. You can put them in your refrigerator, in your freezer, and it's a really easy, quick, and healthy meal. Okay, so we're gonna, one thing that actually tastes really good with this recipe is you want to do a light layer, the Turdal Chutney. Do a little bit on that lettuce wrap, you do a little bit on this. It tastes really good, I find, with the tofu, especially. All right, so this is it. Okay, let's do the test of the Turdal Chutney with the tofu, the pita bread. I think it tastes great. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I think it tastes great. But I hope you all enjoyed that, and I hope you all tried this recipe.
I thought it was fabulous, Chamu, a great point of view. I love the pairing with the chutney, and I also love the pairing of bringing in another flavor, a completely different Korean flavor into this, and how well it paired with the potato masala. It's a very unique point of view, and some healthy options as well with the protein, and it all being baked as well. So I wouldn't expect anything different from you.
Thank you. I was really surprised. I think the combination works really well.
Yeah, and I'll wait for my my special delivery here. Okay?
Of course.
Yeah, thank you, Chamu. It's the pleasure is ours, and we'll move on to our final presenter for today. She's a young woman who has caught my attention over the past few months with her amazing cooking skills. She's Alagu Narayanan. Alagu has lived in the Bay Area for almost 9 years now. She's a mom of two highly energetic young boys, Kavin and Shiv, who keeps her on her toes. And believe me, I can truly vouch for that. I don't know how she does it all, but she does it all, and she does it with so much poise, and always with a smile on her face. It's been amazing to watch her over the months, and certainly over the last couple of weeks in close proximity as we put this thing together. She's a software engineer by profession, and besides that, has a passion for gardening. You should see her garden. It's she's so creative. It's in the balcony, but believe it or not, limited spaces wouldn't stop anyone who has a passion, and that says it all. I mean, she has things from the Murunga Maram to Vala Maram to just about everything. And of course, she loves to cook, plate, decorate, click pictures, and of course, eat, she says. Without much further ado, let's go over to Alagu Narayanan's kitchen.
Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. I'm really excited to be part of today's Sunday Samayal event. Today, as we know that it's all about potato masala, and I'm here to show you a couple of dishes. Like when I first thought about it, it's mostly the puri masala and chapati masala, but then there is definitely a lot of varieties which you could make with it. So I'm going to make a couple of them. One is the appetizer called Duchess Potatoes, and the other one is a potato soup. To begin with, for Duchess Potatoes, I chose the South Indian potato masala because this had a nice yellow color to it, and the flavor of it was really good, and it fitted it well. So traditionally, the Duchess potatoes are made with mashed potatoes, yolk, butter, everything mixed together, and then it's piped and baked. So we're going to just try out the same recipe with the South Indian masala. To just have a twist and have some pairing to it, I'm going to use two stuffings. One is the Turdal Chutney. I just added some red pepper colors to it, so it's just nice red and red, like dark red to go with the potato. The other stuffing I'm going to use is the mint chutney. So this is going to be my other stuffing. So that's my first dish. The second one is going to be potato soup. For that, I'm going to be using the North Indian masala. So this is going to be used for the soup. Without much delay, let's get started with our first dish. So as I was telling, for Duchess potatoes, we need the potato, butter, yolk, and everything. So here I have all the ingredients plated. So this is the Turdal powder, which we just, togayal, which we saw. So what I did here was just roasted some red peppers and then mixed it with the Turdal togayal. So you have this nice red chutney here. And the next one here is the mint chutney. So this is just mint chutney with warm water. So that's for the green stuffing. And what you have to do is just use an ice cube tray like this, and then you could just fill it in. So like you could just fill in the chutneys inside it and freeze it like a couple of hours ahead. So once you freeze it, you're going to have something like this. So this is my frozen red chutney and green chutney. So this all is for the stuffing. So we're going to use these two for the stuffing. So for the masala itself, we're going to have it just with the potato masala, the South Indian one, and we're going to use yolk and butter. Like you can, as you see, there is no spices because everything is with the masala. So I'm just going to keep it simple. So let's just get started with our first dish. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of butter. So as I'm just going to wait for it to melt a bit, and then
you enjoyed really experimenting with this. I know we talked and we looked at many options and stuff, and
yeah.
And
so it is definitely like when I initially thought, I used to just mix the potato masala with like warm water. But then I found the consistency much better when we do it this way. So here what I did was I added 2 tablespoons of butter, and then I added 1 whole packet of South Indian masala. So I'm just mixing a little bit for the butter to coat down the masala. So the masala itself has some vegetable oil in it, but then since we're going to pipe, the butter gives much more richness and then a texture. So that's the reason I'm adding this additional butter to it. So now it's little coated, and now what I'm going to do is add around 100 ml of water. So this amount of quantity of water is very important here. The reason being, you don't want it to become very mushy, and you want the right consistency so that you could pipe it. So I just added 100 ml of water. So you could see for the whole packet, this gives a nice consistency for piping now. So this is almost done. So we just made a plain potato masala. It has salt in it, it has spices. So it just took me like a minute. I just have to have the right amount of everything. Then yeah, so our masala is ready.
Looks so fluffy, Alago.
Yeah, so now what I'm going to do is, let me just move on to my next step. So I'm going to wait for the masala to cool down a bit, and after it cools down, what you'll do is you're going to add your egg yolk, and you're going to add the whole masala into it. And like mixing the masala, you just you don't have to whisk the egg as such, because it's more about you just have to like turn it around so the egg reaches all the masala. So the reason for adding egg is, again, it's for the rich, and it gives a firmness to the Duchess potatoes, and traditionally egg is added to it. So I'm not going to do that whole thing, since in interest of time I have them all ready in the piping bag. So let me move on. So what we did was, we made the masala and we added egg yolk to it. After you mix it, you get a nice consistency. So what I've done here is, I have filled the masala inside my piping bag. And in this case, I used a star tip. Just in case you don't have a piping bag, you could use a regular Ziploc and do a W cut or a cut the tip, so it still works well. So after adding it, you could just pipe different shapes with it. I'm going to show how to pipe the typical Duchess potato style, and then we'll go to much more shapes around it. So what we are going to do is, so I'm going to make a small circle, and we have our red chutney frozen. So we're going to keep it in the center. And make sure there's not much gap inside your piping bag. This is just like regular piping, however you do the regular way. So this is how it's going to be. Usually you just make a base, and then you put your chutney in it, and then you just pipe around it. So this is a nice shape, you get it. If you don't want to pipe, there are other options. So you can see that I made like a couple of duck shapes, since my kids love them, and I just scooped it with a spoon. So you could make any shape, whatever you prefer. And even in these sort of shapes, what we could do is, we could use the chutney, and then you could just dip it in the center. So it gives a, even you here, you will have the filling. So after this is ready, so this is the piped one. So what we're going to do here is, we're going to have the oven preheated at 400 degree, and then I'm going to bake it for around 10 minutes. So that gives a nice soft bake to it, with the bottom crisp. If you want a much crisper bake, you could do around 12 to 15 minutes, but 10 minutes should be good enough. So yeah, so we're going to put it in the oven for baking. Meanwhile, while it's baking, we can move on to our second dish. So let me just get started with the second dish.
That looked so fun, Alagu, the whole Duchess potato.
Yeah, it was fun, like piping them, and like it looks very appealing, like once it's done. Because when you just have a mashed potato on the cup, it doesn't look that appealing. But
Yeah.
when you pipe it, it's definitely, yeah, it looks very nice and it tastes very good. So yeah, moving on to the soup. So these are my ingredients. So what I'm going to use is, I'm using a little 1 tablespoon of butter for half a pack of North Indian masala. You could use your regular oils or whatever you prefer. And I'm going to add onions to it. And today I just chose carrot and peas, but then you could add celery or any other vegetables which you would want to go with the potato soup. And these are our main ingredients. After we're done with the soup, I have some toppings to add, like this is the caramelized onions, and I have chives. So chives usually go very good with the potato soup. And this is sour cream. This is again optional if you want. After you're done, while serving, when it's warm, you could add sour cream to it and stir it up. So these 3 are mostly while serving. So now, without much delay, let me just move on to my soup. So I'm adding my butter. And then I just added onion. So I'm going to like wait for onion, the raw smell of the onion to go away and see a slight brown tinge on it. So talking about this North Indian masala, the reason I chose that for this soup is specifically because the North Indian masala has like a few spices, like it has red chili, and then the main thing is it has the dry mango powder. So I felt like this tastes more like a hot and sour soup, where you get the mangoes taste to it. So I preferred this for the soup specifically. So now that the onion is getting stirred up, I'm going to add my veggies to it.
I liked your thought process for use of each of the different types of masala, Alago, and also the fact that there was no additional need for adding any more masala or any more, things to it. It
Yeah,
was
yeah, I think
standalone.
that's that. Yeah, I agree with you, Archie. Like, I think the main thing I liked about it is, like, I didn't have to think about, like, do I have to add salt? Do I have to add some flavor? Like, all those ingredients are like done because you have this everything in one. And I can just add some veggies to just get additional flavor, but then you could skip that too if you want it to be ready in like a couple of minutes. So now
True.
that I sorted the veggies, so this is the North Indian masala. For this recipe, now I'm using half a packet of North Indian masala. So I'm just going to wait for it to be coated with the butter. So now that it is coated, I'm going to be adding water. So for half a packet of masala, I'm going to add around half a liter. So it's like 500 ml of water. And so this 500 ml of water gives a nice thin consistency to the soup. But if you prefer in a very thick consistency, then you could reduce the water content. And the other thing is, like, since we're adding more water to this masala, you might have to add a little bit of salt if you need more. And in this one, I'm just going to, so this is going to just boil for a bit. So once it boils, you can see the butter floating on the top. So that's when it's ready. And at that time, you could switch to the serving container, and we could add chives and onions and sour cream and everything. And it's good to go. So I have some ready already in my serving platter. So probably we'll move on to that when it's boiling and getting ready. So yeah, so that is pretty much. So we had the Duchess potatoes, and then we had the soup. Let me move on to my serving desk to show you how we plated it and how it looks.
It looks fantastic.
So I do have. I hope this stands still for the 10 minutes, but yeah. So this is Kavin, my elder one, and this is Shiv, my younger one.
Hi, Kavin. Hi, Shiv.
You want to say hi?
Hi. Hi. I'm 7 years old. I'm perfect.
Okay. So yeah, here is the high tea. So what we did was, since we made the potatoes and the soup, we decided it goes much well with the high tea plate, high tea stand. So that's pretty much what we have. Coming on to the stand, so what we have here. So here we have the Duchess potatoes, which we just baked.
Can we see a little closer of that?
Yeah. So this is the Duchess potatoes, which we just baked now. And I have already made a cut of it. Let me just show you. So you can see the nice red chutney color inside it. So that is the red chutney and Turdal stuffing inside. And the next thing we have here in the plate is the ragi pikelets. So I used the Shastha's ragi batter to make the small baby dosa, and then it is topped with masala, potato masala, and then just some colors. We added red peppers and orange peppers roasted in oil, and some coriander leaves. So that's the ragi pikelet. And the third thing I have on my plate is the finger sandwich. So anytime if it's a high tea, you need to have a finger sandwich. So we have a finger sandwich. So this has a layer of Turdal Togayal red chutney mix. That's one layer. And the second layer is the potato masala. So we have 2 layers in it. So that's the finger sandwiches. So that's our high tea platter. And now coming to this one, just for a switch, what we did here was we replaced the tea with the soup. So you can see that I added caramelized onions and chives to it, and that's on the top. And it like I could get the aroma of the soup, and it really tastes good. So I'm going to add a little more soup to it to fill the cup. So it has a nice, like you can see that it has a nice thin consistency, and it does taste good. So that's pretty much. So we have the high tea here. Do you want to try some?
I'll try this.
You want to try that? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you can try that.
It's
Yeah.
good. And the other one, I'm gonna try it on my own.
With a spoon.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think Alagu, I think Shiv wants to try something on that platter there.
Okay, let me.
Can I get one crispy one?
Oh, okay, he wants a crispy one. So yeah, that's.
And I don't want it.
So yeah, that's pretty much our high tea platter. So it all came out pretty quick with the masala, because the base is the same. So we used the masala for almost everything, and it turned out pretty good, and we really liked it. Thank you, Archie and Shastha Foods for this opportunity. It's been really fun experimenting all these. I hope you guys try to and see how it goes with the masala for you. Thank you.
Alagu, this was fantastic. I felt like I was in Buckingham Palace having some high tea. And,
you should drop by.
Yeah, and it's just a great point of view. I loved that you brought these many options. And I love that the boys are there. They're ready to eat the whole thing. So I let you go, Alagu, and thank you so much. And I will let the boys enjoy all the delicious items that you've cooked. So thanks again, Alagu, and then we'll chat later. Thank you. That's been incredible. I had a fabulous time watching all the chefs. And Mani, I'd love to hear your thoughts before we wrap up. Mani, over to you, Mani. Mani, you may be on mute.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Alago. It was wonderful to see the different kind of applications that came through from the potato fillings. I'm very happy, very excited, and looking at how it's going to pair with all our other products. I'm very happy to. I'm really thrilled. That's all I can say. The other thing which I just wanted to mention, all these products are available on shastaonline.com, and it's available through DoorDash. And recently, DoorDash has got a setup called Dashmart, and they have set up grocery locations in 3 or 4 Bay Area locations, one in Concord, one in Redwood City, one in Las Gatos, which is going to come up this week. Fremont is going to come up next week. All these products will be available, in a jiffy. You can order and you can have it delivered in your place between 30 to 35 minutes. And for any impulsive buying, this is the best solution. Of course, we have same-day delivery also through Shastha. Some minimum quantities and other things apply. And hopefully, by the end of the month, we will start overnight deliveries across the state. We are just working on some packaging material to available, and then we can ship this entire package to all 50 states in the US. So those are the things. And please tell your friends. Please tell your friends. And any good comments, please share it openly. Any criticisms, please reach out to me. I'm more than willing to make the necessary corrections to make the product into a better product for the years to come. Once again, thank you very much for all the participants. Thank you.
Thanks, Mani. And looking forward to those products that you have in the pipeline. And I want to thank Mani Krishnan for his incredible generosity for leading by example and being a pioneer in this space. I know this product I just feel it's light years ahead of anything that's so close. I also want to thank you, Mani, for the countless Shasta hampers that you have you and your team have tirelessly put together to send out to all the participants and will continue to send for the millet cooking episodes. And people have enjoyed them, used them, and they are incorporated many of the millet into their daily lives. And so it's been really people are very, very thankful to have been part of this journey because it has really changed their lives. And then thank you again to all the amazing people behind the scenes and all the WhatsApp Samayal group for making all this happen. We will see you again at 11 a.m. on another Shasta Sunday Samayal. Have a fabulous weekend, everyone. Take care.